Okay, so today we're going to talk about Zapier. Zapier is an automation tool that you can connect over 6,000 apps. I've been playing with this app for 2 to 3 years now. It's been evolving. 2 years ago, it was like, oh, well, you can connect 1,000, like over 1,000 apps, and now it's like at 6,000. It's insane. My brain goes into the abyss of opportunities when I'm thinking about this app. The reason why I haven't fully dove into it is because there's so many options, and I don't have as many operations as, say, somebody at a big company with a lot of data inputs coming from different places. If you have an online store, you can get data to be put in places that you want so that you don't have to strategically put things and data entry and just stuff that you don't have to do anymore because apps like this exist. Payment structure on this is it's a little different. There is a free plan, so you can get 100 tasks every month, but they're like a one-for-one task, like going from a Google form to a Google sheet, or maybe responses to a Google form can go to your email, or like the actual responses, or maybe something like a contents of an email can go to a Google form. That's more because some apps already have automations that you have to consider. So it's a one for one because there's some limitations on if you're going to use ChatGPT or something that's more of an advanced app. So then they're going to charge you for that. But that's like in your discernment to, okay, what's worth it? What's my budget? What's my time per hour when you're trying to decide what app to set up or what app to set up. So I'm going to show you around. Right now, I have the free version. I have purchased because I wanted to play with this. They have a lot of other things in here too. You can build a whole website. You can build like tables in your website that can talk to each other. So it's interesting. Like, think of your end goal when you're going into this project and write down all of the apps that you're going to use, but also before deciding on certain apps, like if you're the beginning stage of your company, look into Zapier and see what is playing nicely with most people. Like what has the most integrations that might help you decide what apps you're going to use to save time in the future. So some people know where their business is going, what it's going to look like. And then some people like me, I don't know what apps I'm going to use when. So it's been a little bit more challenging for me, but other people know where things are going. So it might be easier. Yeah, I did this chat bot here. I paid for this just to play with it because and that is, I think I showed you guys a few weeks ago, but I have this chat bot down here that people can the question, and I programmed this specific chat bot to basically be a lead generator. And then you go into Zapier on the back end and you can plug it into this table here. And all of anybody that's put in their information comes up here. So it's new. Not many people coming into my website yet, but that's okay. Okay, so let me show you. So that's tables. There's interfaces, chat bots. Let me show you what the interfaces section looks like. Oh yeah, you can do like an employee onboarding. That interface is like the back end of your website that you can put on here, make things connect. So let me show you the apps section. This is what it looks like right when you come to the website. We'll get to this bar here. This is a new thing they put on their website. It's really awesome. They've integrated AI to help you set up apps. So that's really exciting. If you go up here to the tab, it says Explore Apps. This is all of the apps that it's connecting that it can connect. Now, every app has different capabilities of connections. So again, it's a whole thing here, but you can do app categories. There's artificial intelligence. You can click into that tells you all of the AI apps that it will connect hundreds. Business intelligence, you can go to all business intelligence ones. So Google Analytics, SEMrush, this is a big deal. They have a free one going right now. Commerce apps, QuickBooks, Shopify, but they'd say premium on them. So that's an additional cost. PayPal, communication, apps. So sometimes you get stuck using one app and everything's already there. So for example, like my Microsoft Outlook, I bought my URL through GoDaddy and then GoDaddy connected to Microsoft. So maybe there's a way I don't want to use Microsoft, or maybe I want it to be sent to Google, which you can use Gmail. You can make things do like automations in your email, but maybe I want this to go somewhere else. Or like I started using Square a long time ago. Now I use HoneyBook. Like maybe I want all those things to talk in one place. You can do that because of how these tools are evolving. You use Zapier to not have to be in two places at once or all the time. Marketing apps. So say that you get a new lead, you're using MailChimp, but then you start using HoneyBook and you want anybody that signs up on MailChimp to go into HoneyBook or HoneyBook to MailChimp. Or if you get leads on Facebook pages, but you wanted to add them to MailChimp, you can do that with things like that. Okay, so those are all the apps. There's also a lot of blogs on Zapier. There's a lot of YouTube videos on Zapier. So you just go, I would recommend make sure that you do in the last 4 months when you're filtering out the YouTube videos, because it's so, make sure. Okay. Because this tool has evolved. I mean, within just the past few months, they just added this bar. So that changes a lot of things. All right, we're going to go into our first Zap. And the one that it is so hard to nail down what kind of Zap you want to do, because your mind just goes into this. I could do this, but I could do this. And you don't really know what you can do until you start trying to build them. So one is I get people sign up with their email using the Zoom link, the Zoom for this weekly webinar. And then people sign up their email through Calendly. And then some people sign up their email through Honey. So there's a way that you can put all of those on a Google Sheet. And then afterwards I can tell, like, if my VA or I can, from that Google Sheet, from all three of those places, I could just upload those into my Squarespace, which is where I send emails. So I have those down here. Go to my Zaps here, and this is where all the Zaps that I have live. So sync Zoom participants to Google Sheets. So this is what the backend looks like. And I will go and rebuild this, but you log in with your Zoom, and then I'll show you all what this looks like. So I'm going to turn this off, and then we're going to create. I'm going to go to show you guys. I want my Zoom participants to email to show up on Google Sheets. So you just play in this bar and here's your Zap. It'll help you come up with the conversation, the programming, if you will, of how to set that up. And then you just press try it, and it has the places what you need to do, and it'll lead you through that. If you don't do it that way, you don't have to do it that way. I can also go and add steps here, but it just gives you the framework. So it has my app here. It's already logged into my Zoom, and then new meeting registrant. So there's also all these other triggers. So a new audio transcript comes from your Zoom, or a new cloud recording goes into your Zoom. You can do lots of things with it. So say I can put my new cloud recording into a Google Drive, because then I don't want to, because maybe my Google Drive connects to a different app, that I can easily access that information instead of downloading it from Zoom, going into Zoom. Not very fun to go in the back end of Zoom a lot, search for stuff. But or a new meeting is ended, or new meeting summary. Like there's all of these things, but right now I just want the emails to be go in one place. So new meeting registrant goes there. And then upcoming meeting, it already has my weekly Zoom call here. So if you have any standard weekly Zoom calls or monthly Zoom calls or whatever, it's going to plug this up because I have this connected into Zoom. This setup here, you can also like if anyone new participant, okay, new webinar registrant. I didn't know new meeting. Okay, so you set up a new meeting as well. But if I put in another like new audio transcript, this configure tab is going to look different here. So it'll be new buttons will come up for you that's already programmed in the app. So it's right now it's going to test my trigger. Triggering is just, are they connected? Is it finding the information that it needs? And over here, which is really cool, is this Copilot. This is also new. It's kind of like, it's walking you through and you can ask certain questions in here to clarify anything. All right. So now this meeting, the Zoom section of this is set up. Now we're going to go to the Google Sheet section and there's an action item or action event. So where do you want this to go to? What do you want to happen when this email is captured? So action event. So you're going to go down here. It's okay. What do you want? You want a whole new spreadsheet? Do you want a whole new row? Do you want a spreadsheet column? Like there's a different way. So I want just, a regular row. And then we're going to continue. I've already signed in as well. So it already has this email. And once you get signed into all your apps, creating Zaps is way easier. So it's going to ask the drive, my Google Drive, and then what spreadsheet do I want? So I already created this, but so the spreadsheet is this email tracker spreadsheet that I've already created in my Google account. I'm going to go back to Zapier, email tracker, and then what worksheet? The worksheet is talking about down here, sheet 1, sheet 2. Say you had so many emails coming in from different places. You could be like, okay, I want this to be just my Zoom email. Sheet 2, I just want that to be my Calendly emails coming in from there. Sheet 3, and you can name those individually and segment there. So I want it to go to sheet 1. And then I'm going to show you guys in this. So these sections right here, first name, last name, email, are my headers that I've put into this Google Sheet. First name, last name, email. It didn't pull that up until I put those header sections in there. So this is like simple programming that you can, then I go into this plus sign over here and I'm like, okay, what do I want first name column to be associated with when it's pulling in from Zoom? So when you guys sign up for the Zoom call, it'll say, put in your first name, put in your last name, put in your email and first name. And then I'm going to go in the last name and then I'm going to put in the email. So we're going to continue and we're going to touch the step. If sometimes so first step, the compass that just happened. I just added that again. That's so exciting. It's wow, like I didn't have to do anything. That's just so fun. And then you go to publish and that works. Like you don't ever have to touch that again. Always tracking that. Or you don't have to there's things in Zapier where it's okay, I want you to rerun this because there's no trigger of happening. So there is action items in Zapier to help you to trigger a rerun because there's no action of someone signed up for this webinar. That's a different thing, but I just want y'all to know that those are options. Like right here, like looping or delay by the Zapier. These are like more advanced Zaps, but that's possible. I don't want you to run this every few seconds. I want you to wait a week or something like that. There are ways to do that. So I'm going to delete this. Okay, so that one is done and I'm publishing it. And so say I have 100 people that sign up for this webinar in the next week, then my free zaps will be over and then it won't, let me see. Okay, yeah. These tasks will be of the pre-plan, that'll be capped out. So it won't collect any. So that's just something to remember in the future if you're not paying for Zapier. All right, next. Do you have any questions? Just pop in whenever. Okay. Next one that I think is really fun is, so I like to use Reddit for research to get like kind of consumer behavior or what are questions that are people asking that I can maybe create content about, or I can be more connected to my audience in some way. So I'm going to go to this section and I'm going to say, I want Reddit threads to go to Google Sheet. And Google Sheets is a really easy way to track information. There's other more advanced ways to track information that it can be more tailored to you, but I think Google Sheets is the best way to either be a segue because you can tailor, like you can program it like first name, last name, and then it's best to like it communicates best like that. When I was setting up these like example apps, that was been the best one to do is just use Google Sheet to be this section because, and if you have a place that's like perfectly curated and you're like, oh, I just need to go to this one Google Sheet to get all my information. I think that just makes sense. Okay. This next one is, so new hot posts and subreddit, and then I want it to create a new spreadsheet row in Google Sheets. So this is exciting to me because my clients, a lot of times, like it takes me a while to go and look for information. So I thought this was exciting. So a new hot post in subreddit. So it triggers when there is a new hot post in the top 10 of a subreddit. So a subreddit, if you don't know what that is like for one, I was going to do is this chat GBT one. This would be a subreddit, this whole section here. And so maybe I want to track automation. Maybe I want to track I could go to the subreddit individually, but what are the most commented on? What's the most interacted with? So I'm narrowing my search a little bit. So do this new hot post in subreddit. And then I have my Reddit already connected here. I'm going to continue. Okay, what subreddit? And then you can click these section headers here and it'll tell you like, okay, what do I need to put in this enter text? You're basically coding. And so I can click this and because I did this earlier and I just copied the whole section title, which was r/ChatGPT. And it didn't like that. So so then I went and clicked this and I was like, do not include the r/, and that's exactly what I did. So I just did just type in chat GPT. Then press continue. So it's testing my trigger now. And now that one's completely set up and I'm in the Google Sheet section. And it's going to do the same thing as earlier. I'm going to go to the drive, Google Drive, and then what spreadsheet do I want it to go to? For the sake of conversation, I'm just going to go to the sheet 2 of this Google Sheet that I already have. So I'm going back to my email tracker here, and then sheet 2. I could name these better. I understand. Right. Again, self-text is what I put here. And then I want to link it to the subreddit so I can just easily connect it to that. Self-text, I'll show you guys why I put that there. So basically, when you press the plus sign and you want it to connect two things together, this is all of the data it's pulling from that one post. Let's see. Let me go all the way to the top. So there's a title, there's URL, the author, what is the subreddit name, prefix, self-text. I press more on the self-text, and this is all the self-promotional posts about your AI products and services should go on this mega thread as comments and not. This is what I want it to pull is the main information of that self-text, which is like the author that posted it. I don't want any of this other information. So that's what I'm going to put as the self-text. It's also not pulling the link section where link to subreddit. I want it to do that. So sometimes when you notice, okay, you have never set up a Reddit thread and you're like, okay, I don't know what they call themselves. I don't know what they call the body of a Reddit thread. They call it a self-text. So I went and added that to the header of the Google sheet. And then and then now I want, oh wait, I want the link to the subreddit. Okay. So I go and refresh the fields and it added the link to the subreddit there. And now I can go in and pull that link, which would be this URL. If you don't know which one to pull because it looks like, does it look like they have no, there is some stuff where it's like they're pulling multiple URLs and you're like, I don't know which one is which. So you can check that here and then more, or let me see, format data. Oh, you could edit the data. That's interesting. Don't know the utility in that right this moment, but you can always ask ChatGPT or the Copilot here. So that's exciting. So I'm going to press continue. Then it'll tell you what is communicating to what here. And I'm going to test this step. And I think my stomach gets butterflies every time this works. Okay. So yay, that worked. We're going to go check my little Google spreadsheet here and boom, that worked. I love that. I never can find the wrap text button here, but y'all get the idea. The whole thing is here. So excited. All right. Sometimes it makes you feel so accomplished. So I'm going to publish that. And maybe I'll see in a week how many times it triggers that. That's exciting. Okay. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do is I started setting these other ones up, and then you realize that the individual app already has some of these capabilities. So just remember that before you're walking into this. Because, for example, I saw on YouTube is set up. No, I saw on Zapier was like set up Instagram to post on Pinterest, and then you go and Google it or whatever, and you're like, and then they have YouTube videos. It's like, press this button to get your Instagram to post to Pinterest. So it's like, that's already a capability in Pinterest. It's just something because you don't want to waste your free zaps. Another one that I was playing with is any body of the text from a certain client could go to my Notion document or my Notion board that me and her share. Just if I wanted to set up a main page just for us, where I didn't have to go check my email. I didn't have to check my text. I didn't have to check. It could just all go in one place. The other thing is Zapier also has like SMS and email capabilities. So like it could text you if you got some type of triggering data in your email, or if someone filled out a form on your website or a review form and it was like it had these negative words in it, it could text you. There's certain ways you can utilize that. So the other one that I was going to do was okay, yeah. So this was so exciting. I have this Google form that I send to people that tell me about processes. I want to know what apps you use, just so I can get a big picture view of the inside of their business and the structures that they're playing with, because it tells me what kind of limitations they have. So anytime you get a Google form response, you can connect it to a spreadsheet. And so basically I've already set that up. I'll show you that now. But this is a business audit questionnaire, and then you can show you all the inside of it. So basically, all of the questions, what outside tools do you have? What are the most time-consuming tasks? Just so I can understand what capabilities that they could potentially automate, or what kind of marketing limitations do they have. So that's that. And then all of those go into this Google Sheet, this business audit
Thank you.
questionnaire responses. Okay, just to show you all that back end, I'm going to go back to my Zapier, and you can connect. Tiffany, you're on. You unmute. Oh, I'm mute back. Unless you wanted to talk and ask a question, let me know. So basically, I've set this up to where, and this is an advanced Zap because I had to connect ChatGPT. And there's just the open AI version of ChatGPT, or I don't know. I didn't realize that there was a difference. But basically, this is the green version of ChatGPT in layman's terms, because I don't know where it took me. I don't know why I'm in this. I bet someone watched the video like, Rita, why didn't you know this? But that's fine. Basically, when I was setting up ChatGPT, it took me to this. And I have not played with this, or maybe I did a long time ago. I don't remember it. But you can run things through Zapier, through ChatGPT, this version of ChatGPT, and it asks you for an API key and a personal API key. So it's basically just tracking your. This looks like a little much. Let me go to my API. I could show y'all. See this user API key. It has set me view project name. Okay. So I did this the other day, and basically this API is connecting to this ChatGPT. It's probably a lot deeper than that, but let's see. You can basically, okay. So when the trigger event on this Google Sheet, I'll just show you all how this works, and then it'll explain some things. So a new spreadsheet row. So the trigger event is when someone submits the form with their information, and then that triggers this whole Zap. And so I have the spreadsheet, the business audit questionnaire, the worksheet from form responses 1, and then I'm going to test that. So sometimes when these tests work, you can do one that you've already done to make sure that it's pulling the right information. And again, what are they calling themselves, or what are the sections calling themselves? How is it being coded and talking to each other, basically, with communication? So then the action event is going to be a conversation. It could be a lot of other things. You want to analyze the image with content. I just think this is crazy. Analyze the text sentiment, check moderation. So classify if text is potentially harmful. So that could be something where you can also set this up where, say that someone's, again, leaves a review, that you get a trigger in your email that's review, and maybe it's like something really ugly. You need to know that for your business. ChatGPT can check this. If you have 17 reviews coming in every hour, but you don't have time to look that up, just something to think about. Or a bunch of emails, you can, or you're a more sensitive business, like you can check this stuff. Really exciting. The conversation sends a chat to OpenAI and generate a completion optionally storing messages that week. You don't know what that means, you can go ask Copilot. But I picked this one. And then there's the other options were, let's see, send the chat to OpenAI. Oh, okay. Converts text to speech. I want to play with all these, but I also had to pay for this version of ChatGPT. Don't know why. If someone knows, I don't understand the difference. I even Googled the difference between the white OpenAI and the ChatGPT, this green ChatGPT version. And I'm, I know I'm teaching AI and don't know that, but okay, if someone knows. Also, you get it to write an email. Let's see, what section would I need that? So like maybe when I got a form response, I could send an email like, hey, I see that you're using, maybe I could get this to automate. Hey, I see you're using Zoho and HubSpot and Squarespace. These are some potentially easy Zaps or easy ways you can connect those. Just want you to have this information, or something simple. Hey, thanks for doing the form. I'll be back with you in 2 to 3 days to get you like custom advice for your case, whatever. There's multiple ways. So, or you can summarize the text and generate a summary and get that to do something like whether email or create a new section in a Google Sheet, which is what I'm going to do. So the conversation here, and I'm going to continue. And basically, I went into this. It's asking me what information do I want from this, and I went and just clicked all of these responses in the form. So it's going to grab all of that information. And then I asked what model of ChatGPT do I want it to use? And then down here, I actually give it the instructions. If it was a prompt in ChatGPT, I put, so you're a helpful automation and marketing assistant that summarizes information in these questions provided by the business. I should put these answers provided by the business and offers potential automations that we can set up for this business. So the temperature, the token. So like, because I'm paying for the time generated and the response generated in this ChatGPT, maybe I don't want it to just go on. Maybe it has the capability to go on, but I only want it to use just a little bit. You can max out the tokens here. And then temperature could be, so a number between 0 and 2, higher values likely like 0.8 will make the output more random, while lower values like 0.2 will make it more focused and deterministic. That's interesting. You might have a different utility for that. And then top P, don't think we need to know what that is right this second. So that is checking there, and then I'm going to go. Now I want it to create, I want it to put the summary that ChatGPT does onto the spreadsheet next to it. So over here, I have the responses on one section, and then over here on sheet 1, I'm going to put the response that ChatGPT generates. So I wanted to create a spreadsheet row. There might be a better way. That's fine right now. And then here, again, at the top of this form, I have summary. And then under summary, I want it to put this reply. So all of these options come up. And I had to dig through to understand which one was which. User request message. This was their responses. And then I went down to the reply section and realized this was the bot and its reply. And I could do more here if I wanted. And then I'm going to press continue. I'm going to retest this step, make sure it works. It works. Exciting. And down here, I have the second. So I already tested this, but I have the second one here. Summary of business needs and challenges. Increased agent engagement, desire to become more involved with agents to improve education, training, potential automations and solutions, client communication automation, data entry automation. So it's literally taking all of the information and giving me advice on what it said, or like it's being my collaborative agent and helping me out there. So that's exciting. Also, this is an advanced app because you're using AI. So I can't publish this one, but I think it's really exciting just to know that it exists. But yeah, there are tons of other ways to use Zap. I think those are some simple ones now just to get your brain going. And in this app section, something I didn't show y'all before was you can click on these apps and down to the bottom, at the bottom, it'll tell you just like little brainstorm section, I feel like, of potential Zaps you can use. These are simple, but again, add Microsoft Outlook events from new Google Calendar events. Again, like if you have an email that you use over here that everyone knows about, you wanted to start using Google, like, you can get those to talk to each other so you don't have to go and put events in there. You can even search for pairing apps. You can pick an app to pair with. You can ask ChatGPT for potential Zaps you can do and get it to brainstorm and help you figure out how the best optimal way to do Zaps. Another thing I did the other day was I screenshotted an error on my Zap, and I was like, I didn't understand what it was trying to communicate with me. So I screenshotted it, put it into ChatGPT, and it was able to tell me what was going on. And I thought that was really cool. Even though Copilot could help you too, sometimes, I don't know, I just trusted ChatGPT in the moment to do the screenshot. So Copilot wasn't helping me out. So yeah, there's multiple different ways to use this. I love being able to dive into my what's in my toolkit and then going and checking what potential Zaps there are. Please, if anyone has any just recurring workflows that let me get out of if anyone has any recurring workflows that they're like, oh my gosh, this takes so much time. I have to spend a whole, day doing this data entry. Please reach out. I would love to brainstorm. I don't have a lot of operating data entry tasks so far to play with. So I would love to brainstorm with you and see how we can save time and get that kind of like before and after effect. I think Zapier definitely is at a place where it's be- getting better every day. It still has some glitches, it still has some things, but it's way better than 2 years ago, and it's way more user friendly, and there's just if you need so many opportunities or, options or capabilities that it does have to save us time, reach out, let me know if you guys have any I need a brainstorm partner to set some of these up. I would love to get some case studies and help you out in your business. So thank you. That is today's call. I will see you guys next week. We're gonna be going over Opus Clip and Descript, which are video editing tools that can help you if you're doing anything online or for your business or your Instagram or anything like that. Those are super helpful tools. And yeah, thanks for everyone reaching out and hold me accountable to these because your support has helped me show up for sure. And I've really enjoyed doing these calls. So you guys have the best week, and I'll see you all next Monday.